Hi everyone, it's Rachel from the Shades of Orange. I feel like it's been forever since I filmed a video. You might have noticed I didn't do an October wrap-up, and that was because I was in a big reading slump in October. I only ended up reading 3 things. One was a volume of Death Note, which I've talked about a million times. One was a non-fiction book about sales I read for work, and then the third one was a NetGalley mystery thriller, which was terrible, so I don't want to recommend it to anyone. And I just didn't have a lot to talk about, but I really want to get back to filming. I miss BookTube, and basically today I want to show you all the books I've picked up from the library, and also gives you an idea of what I'm currently reading. Thankfully, November has been a much better month so far. I've already read 6 books, and I'll probably get quite a few more of these done before the end of the month, so let's get started. Now, the only book I want to show today that's not a library book is Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy, and this is a general fiction book about an older woman with Alzheimer's. It's told from her perspective, and she is trying to piece together her memory, and the book is told in a very fragmented style because she is, of course, losing her memory. And the story kind of takes place around her neighbor Elizabeth, who she believes has gone missing. So it's got a little bit of a mystery aspect, but so far I definitely call it more of a fiction read rather than a mystery, just because of it's very slow paced, and while there's a mystery element, it's really more about the main character herself, Maud, and her struggle with her memory. So really interesting. It's a much slower read than I normally would pick up, but so far I'm enjoying it. About I think 60 pages in, and yeah, so far so good. Now currently on audio I'm listening to Dumpling by Julie Murphy. And I feel like this has gotten a lot of attention around BookTube, but it's all about a young teenage girl who's struggling with her weight, and it's her experiences with basically starting relationships and feeling comfortable in her own skin. And a large part of this book takes place around a beauty pageant which she decides to enter. And she's also dealing with the grief of losing her aunt. There's a lot going on in the book. I was really just in the mood for a YA contemporary. I'm not completely sure how I feel about this one yet. I like parts of it, and then I almost don't. The main character kind of is on the side of unlikable, which I don't normally mind unlikable characters as long as they're intended to be unlikable, but at times she's irritating, so I'm not sure. I'll let you know when I finish this what my final thoughts are. I'm kind of on the fence whether I like this one a lot or if I'm kind of like meh. But the audiobook's good. I like the narrator. Now, I just started this next book this morning, and that is the graphic novel Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I was really in the mood for kind of a cute graphic novel. The last couple I've read have been more horror type, and I just haven't been feeling that style. So this is adorable, all around BookTube. It's basically, it's almost like a satire on the fantasy genre, really making fun of a lot of the tropes of the hero and villain. The main character decides to become the sidekick of the villain, and it's their job to kind of basically fight the hero knight. And it's so far really funny. I'm only a couple pages in, but I'm loving the style. The artwork itself, if you haven't seen it, is adorable. It's just like on the cover, and even the writing is done in a very kind of childlike style. I like that it's not kind of flawless font work, and just really impressed by this one so far. I haven't really been in graphic novel mood lately, so it's nice to get one that really hooks me in. Now, this next book has been on my TBR for way too long, and this book was originally recommended to me by a subscriber who has a lot of similar reading tastes to me, so I really trust when she says go pick up a book, that usually means I'm gonna love it. And the book here is The Book of You by Claire Kendall. And this is all about a young woman who has a co-worker, I believe, who's really obsessed with her. She ends up working on a jury, and the case involves, I guess, a kind of an abusive significant other, and she starts to see threads of this woman's story in her own life. Just supposed to be a really good stalker story. I believe Katie from Chapter Stacks also read this and thought it was pretty good. So looking forward to that. It's kind of been a while since I read like a stalker book, and I don't know, in the mood for stalkers, I guess. Now, this last book is probably the book I'm most excited for in this whole haul, and that is Blackeyed Susan by Julia Heberlin. And this book came out earlier in 2015, and I tried to get an advanced copy of it, but I'm not, popular enough to get one, and I ordered from my library immediately. but they took forever to process it. I almost went and bought it, but I was trying to be good. So just really excited for this one. The premise sounded really creepy, and all the reviews, even past the release date, so not just all the people who got ARCs and kind of gave inflated reviews, like I've been really positive about this. And what it's about is when this woman was a teenager, she lost her memory for a short period of time, and when she woke up, she was basically left for dead on this pile of dead skeletons, and all around her were Blackeyed Susans were growing. And she of course became famous and helped to put someone in jail for this. And now looking, I believe 20 years later, she's kind of revisiting the events of what happened, particularly because she woke up one morning and found that someone had planted these flowers in her flower bed right under her window, trying to give her some kind of message. I just think the premise sounded really good. It's definitely creepy so far in terms of like the setup, like the whole setup of her waking up like that is like a terrifying idea. And yeah, I'm like, I think like 10 pages in, but at the moment, super excited for this one. I will definitely let you know when I finish it what I think about it. So that's everything I currently have checked out from the library. It gives you an idea what I'll probably be reading before the end of the month. I feel like it's been a while, so please let me know what was the best book you've read lately. If you have any recommendations, please share them down below. Thanks everyone, have a good day. I'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye.